Yo guys, I'm HP, this is Dr. Pink, and today we're going to talk about basic rock guitar training and then specifically the chords. If you want to have a first introduction into rock guitar, what you all need to know, the tips and tricks. And of course, the good news is rock guitar chords are quite simple. But the bad news is, but not so simple as you might think. So we're going to figure out everything which you need to know to master rock guitar chords. We're going to talk about two types of chords today. The rock guitar chords. These will be the ones you probably know from AC/DC. Or that stuff. Or the regular rock guitar chords. And these are the other types, which are the power chords. But the rock guitar chords, they have some specific requirements that they sound how they should. It's not only the distortion, and we're also going to talk about the distortion, of course. And that's what we're going to talk about first, I would say. So, when you start with playing rock guitar chords, the distortion level is quite crucial. Why? Because the higher, let me quickly show you, the higher this distortion level is, the less tolerance for mistakes or not playing completely smooth and technically perfect. So you better start with low distortion levels. Here I have it on 3. Still sounds cool, but it doesn't bite so much. But still, with the proper technique, you can make it bite even on a low distortion level. Now I'm going to put up the distortion level quickly to max on this with this amplifier, which is a Captain Hook amplifier. So sounds a bit different, but the technique is the same, and that's what we're going to check out now. Alright, we start with the rock guitar chords, which are E5. And now it's extremely crucial that you do the proper technique, what I'm showing now, you have to do it as precise as possible. When you do E5, you take the index finger, you can also take 2 fingers if you want, but the G string, this one here, has to be damped. Why? Because if you want to get them sound properly, you need to be able to really hit the strings hard. That this string doesn't sound, so you have a little bit of tolerance that you have more power to go through. See, that's basically the main trick to make normal rock chords or the rock guitar chords that they really bite, you know. The next chord is G, which is very easy to grab. You just put your middle finger here in the 3rd fret, but now it comes. You need to damp the next string. So you have to put the finger in a position that you touch the A string. And that's it. And again, you should only play here till the G string, but it's not too bad if you hit the B string as well. But there, and the same thing again, you really go through the strings like this. Okay? Then the next chord will be D. That's on this one here. 3rd fret, 2nd fret, and now it comes. This is probably the hardest one of all. This one is really easy to grab, but you have to grab it in a way that the high E string is damped, and you put your thumb here that the low E string is damped. This makes it possible that you hit the middle 4 strings, and you always notice I would say that's the chord and the sound which defines a Gibson Les Paul sound. And again, you really attack the strings really directly and hard. But that's also the intro of Sin City by AC/DC. You know, that's what I'm saying. These are basically the absolute basic rock chords. Now in the last chord is the A5, which is very similar to the E5, just with one difference. Now we have the low E string, which has to be damped with the thumb. And you hit these three strings. Yeah. Okay? Good. Now your task is to learn the rock guitar chords in a manner that you just can play them and through. Basically, that was AC/DC was doing when they created their songs. Probably during the rehearsal, they just warmed up. And that's and the trick is really you have the proper damping technique and you hit the strings hard. Now I created a little backing track for you guys that you can practice this a little bit. So now here comes a trick. How do you change the chord without creating too much noise? When you have low distortion levels, it's not so hard, but it still has to be done properly. It's done with your attacking, and you play and then you damp with this part of your hand. So you play and you have to damp on a really, let's say if a song is like 1, 2, 3, and on the next bar you have to change, you probably stop on 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it has to be stopped properly, because this makes it really groovy, even if you just play a chord playing like this. In this backing track I created, you have 2 bars time to prepare yourself for the chord change. So now the exercise would be you just play the chords properly. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Same thing on A. And then sync it with the backing track. Let me quickly put a little bit more far away that you see everything nicely. So 1 bar entry and then it starts. 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks really simple, but believe me, it's not so simple. You really have to pay attention to the details I just explained to you, and I forgot the last detail. Go on the bridge pickup here, not on the neck pickup. Good. So these were the rock guitar chords, and when you start with the basic rock guitar training, learn that these chords sound the way they should. You just play them like this, that they really bite nicely. And then you're already pretty near to most of the AC/DC songs, you know. Or stuff like that, or combinations of this. Good. So these are the 4 chords in the low position with open strings. Now the other part is the regular power chords. We do the same progression now with the regular power chords. What are power chords? You need to learn to grab them and grab them correctly. You start with the basic version. So the E5 is like this. 7th fret on the A string, 9th fret on the D string, and now you have to grab them in a way that the low E string doesn't sound and that the G string doesn't sound. Or you can also do a version where you take two strings here That's a little bit harder, but you can also try that version. So we have E5. Yeah, try both versions. This one and this one. And now the good news is that's it. That's it. Now you just move around the chord. E5, G5 is here. That one is really simple, not much to damp. Here, 3rd fret, 5th fret. If you play with the D string, just make a bar here, otherwise you have to damp the D string with a ring finger. D5, same thing here like the E5. Now in the 5th fret. And A5 is here. And you already notice, sounds different even, it's the same chord, because the other ones have more punch. Now we do the same exercise again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. It looks simple, but believe me, that they really sound the way you want, and that you're even able to shape the tone. You can also make a little tremolo effect when you have a lot of time, or you know that just that they sound the way as only 50% to do with the distortion you have. The other 50% are happening here. And you really need to pay attention to these details I just showed to you guys. Yo guys, that was basic rock guitar training with Dr. Pink and me. I hope you enjoyed it. Really pay attention to these details I explained, because that makes the difference between your rock guitar chords sounding great or sounding like, you can choose the word yourself. And it's not, as I already said, it's not basically the distortion which makes the sound bite. It's a playing technique. You know, I'm playing now with medium distortion, and when you have already told the beginning, when you play with more distortion, you have to be even more precise here on the fretboard and with attacking the strings, that you don't get any unwanted noises, or you use the noises to create a cool, you know, that we're gonna do later during this basic rock guitar training. Yo, if you want to practice with this cool backing track, it's way more fun with something like that. And by the way, you also already learn to play in a proper timing. It's available in the HPCrazy guitar community, and I'm gonna write down the tabs of the chords if you also need them. Please join the HPCrazy Guitar Academy. Please become a premium member in order to support the work which me and Dr. Pink are doing for the guitar community. And if you love my channel, please subscribe and please share to the world that me and Dr. Pink are existing. See you guys.